So I made a portable live streaming box with SRT and bonding, and the whole thing cost me $150. Now we're talking about something that can actually replace things like live view. If you guys are familiar with things like live view, if you're doing some mobile live streaming, Arrow live streaming, remote production, this little box, you're gonna love it. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys why I actually made this box, what I used to actually make it, hardware and software, and it's actually pretty easy, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. So let's get into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Sam. You're watching now production tips and tools. And first of all, this generic box, actually I don't have a name for it. Again, guys, if you're familiar with my channel, I've reviewed some mobile streaming boxes like the YOLO box or the Talent from Opus, and these are really good. Now there's a little difference because this doesn't have like multiple HDMI inputs. It only has one HDMI input, but it has some other cool features, and I'm gonna show you guys how the whole thing works. But being able to make a box like this that costs only actually under $150, guys, and look at it, 100% metal, super solid, and it's awesome. So first of all, why did I make this box? Well, because I do a lot of mobile kind of remote production, sometimes people that I work with, they need to send me SRT signals, right? So they have to use things like live view or any other box, something like the Talent actually, that will give you plug a camera in, which is gonna be something that I'm gonna demo for you guys. So you can plug a camera in, any sort of camera. If you're doing outdoor streaming or outdoors kind of streaming, you can even use something like a GoPro, which is one of the cameras that I use to test my box. But you can also use any HDMI cameras like a DSLR, plug into something like this or any other box like live view, something that has HDMI in, and be able to send the signal out using SRT for someone who's anywhere in the world via internet, and be able to send them a signal for them to be able to actually produce your show, right? So either you're doing outdoors or indoors, or let's say it's an event and you want somebody to remote produce it for you, this is gonna be useful. And that's one of the reasons that I made this box. But this is also very popular among the people who do Arrow streaming. So if like doing Arrow streamings like live vlogging kind of thing, right, where you need like high quality image, maybe you're in a place where you know the internet connection and conditions are not really great, outdoors walking around, and you want to be able to send that signal instead of pushing that signal to the internet because your internet sucks. You would rather actually send that to someone who has a better internet connection, sitting somewhere, maybe running OBS, and be able to mix it with some other graphics and other stuff, production elements, and stream that signal. So this box is perfect for this kind of things. Now let's get into the key features when it comes to this box. I have to come up with a name for it. Now the first thing, obviously, it has SRT, which is something that I already talked about. We got bonding, so you can connect multiple internet connection. In fact, it has dual Ethernet connections, so if you can connect two Ethernet cables, let's say you were using things like Starlink or anything, you know, with Ethernet, you can use two, right? But you can also use the USB ports to plug in some cellular modems and things like that, and it will still work. This is open source, so the software that I'm running on it, it's open source and it's actually 100% free. It has a built-in HDMI port, so you can connect your HDMI camera directly into it, so you don't need some sort of capture card, and it can capture up to 4K, which is really cool. It supports cellular modems and obviously hotspots and tethering. If you want to tether some internet connection from your phone connected directly via USB, you can actually do that. You can even connect multiple phones, and it's gonna be able to kind of bond the network sources or the connection coming from all the phones, which is cool. You got optional Wi-Fi. If there's a way you can actually install some Wi-Fi antennas and Wi-Fi chip into it, which is cool. You got H.265 codec, this is amazing, especially when you're doing SRT and dealing with unreliable internet connection. This is key. H.265 codec is awesome. You also have active cooling. Now you can buy, there are multiple cases that you can actually get. You can get one with active cooling. The one that I have has active cooling, which means it's probably never gonna overheat, okay? But you can also get one that has, you know, passive cooling that's not gonna be as effective. So it really depends on how you want to use the box. Now when it comes to hardware, guys, what I'm using, actually, it's not like some sort of magic that I did and I came up with, you know, I manufactured the whole thing. We got some components. So the first The key component, obviously, I'm using something called Orange Pi 5 Plus. Now, if you're familiar with things like, Raspberry Pi, these are just tiny computers I use for like programming and doing some sort of fun projects. So this is one of those. This one is called Orange Pi 5 Plus. I got the version of 8 gig and it's about like, $130. We also got a 64 gig eMMC module. So eMMC is like an SSD version of SD cards. It's just a tiny SD card kind of thing that you install in here just to be able to install your operating systems and things like that. So I got that in there. It's really cheap. I also have this case, which I will probably leave a link down below if you guys are interested, with active cooling. Again, everything, guys, did not even cost $150. Pretty cheap. Now, when it comes to the software, these little computers usually run Linux based kind of code and command software operating systems, but the one that I'm running is a custom image called Belabox. Basically, it's an open source software that allows to do some of the cool SRT things that we're gonna be talking about, plus the bonding. So the bonding technology and the SRT, it's all provided by Belabox. Now, before we go too far, I'm gonna show you the box, what kind of ports we have on the box right now. Okay, so this is what the box kind of built. I put the case together and everything. I installed the operating system, and this is what it looks like. So the front, you have one HDMI input. This is for connecting your camera. You have two more HDMI. They look like inputs, but they're outputs. So this is where if you wanted to connect an HDMI monitor, you can actually connect up to 2 monitors. Again, you can use this box for other things. It doesn't have to be for our streaming. Okay, you have 2 Ethernet port, 1, 2, and you have 2 USB inputs. You have USB Type C, and on this side you have 1 USB Type C as well. This is for powering the box, and then you have 2 more USB ports, Type A, and you have a little button here to actually turn it on and off, but most of the time actually don't use it. You're gonna see, and you have an SD card slot if you want to use an SD card. The micro SD card is here, and microphone input as well. And on the side and the bottom, really, this is just a case. Depending on the case that you get, it may have some openings here and there just to keep the unit cool. We also have a fan that comes with the case on the top here. Now, when it comes to all the components, guys, I'm gonna show you how I actually got to put everything together really easy. It's just the little board, okay, the Orange Pi 5 Plus. See, the multiple versions of Orange, by the way, guys, but the most recent one I believe is the Orange Pi 5 Plus. Then I got the eMMC little card, put it in there, and then put together with the case and everything, and the whole thing came together. All right, so when it comes to powering it, it just uses USB Type C. In fact, I'm gonna show you how the whole thing works to be able to stream. First of all, we got our USB Type C that we're gonna connect into this port right here. This is the one that powers it. So as you can see, as soon as you power it, maybe you can see on the camera, but the fan start turning and it's kind of on, which is cool. And you have a little light actually on the front here. This green light is gonna show you that's on. Next, we're gonna actually provide some internet connection to it. Again, you can just simply connect my phone to it using something like a USB cable, just like so. Let me actually do it right now. So we got my phone right here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go here and plug it in. All right, now when it comes to the phone, you always want to make sure you enable hotspot and give some permission. As you can see, it's asking me if I want to trust this computer, so you want to make sure you hit trust. All right, and then you're gonna put your password. Most phones will ask you that. Now, if you're using an Android phone, you're gonna go into tethering and make sure you activate hotspot. But as you can see, mine, because I've used it before, hotspot is already activated and it's already sharing the internet, which is really cool. So now hotspot is on. I don't even have to connect, but I'm gonna connect my Ethernet cable as well, just to show you how the bonding works. But right now, guys, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect my camera, my HDMI camera. I have my Sony ZV-E10 kind of ready and on. If I wanted to, I could connect a GoPro, anything really. So we're gonna go ahead and connect to the first HDMI cable here. This is the one that's an input. The other ones are just outputs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and connect it. Now, if we go to my screen here inside, I'm just gonna log into my Belabox cloud. So now Belabox Cloud is kind of paid service. Basically, Belabox is free. However, if you want to do what we call SRT relays, I'm going to show you how it works. You're going to have to sponsor the guy who created it, and basically it's like it gives you a server where you can host that video, and then you can download it, send the SRT into something like OBS. If you didn't want to pay for that service, it's like $10 a month. It also gives you a way to remotely control, monitor your signal, and kind of control the box remotely from anywhere as long as you have internet connection. So that's why you're paying for really $10 a month. If you didn't want to do that, you can actually do the whole thing for free. It's just you're gonna have to manually send yourself the SRT links from the box and do all the IP addresses and everything. With this service, you set it up once and your SRT links are always the same regardless of where you are, either you're local, outdoors, whenever you are. Your IP addresses keep changing. It's gonna stay the same port, so you don't have to do anything. You just have one link that you send to OBS and it's going to appear. So this is how it works. So we got my box right here. Everything's connected. I'm logging into my Belabox account. Now if I click to Belabox remote, basically this is where the whole thing happens. So well, we have an update, so we're gonna do an update soon. But as you can see, once you connect everything, it's gonna show up here. Okay, so you got your IP address, you got your bit rate. You can also set up your maximum bit rate. Again, this is something you can even do before you go live, so or while you're actually live. Okay, but when it's green, it means that we have the connection, the box is connected and everything. So I can go here and actually change to, let's say, do something like maximum bit rate to 6,000. Okay, now everything is showing that we have Ethernet connected. This is my phone. Basically it says ETH2, and then you can go to encoder settings. As you can see under encoder settings, you have so many options including 4K. So if I wanted to bring in a 4K signal, if your camera is capable of sending 4K but also need to consider your internet connection, can it handle 4K, you can actually go ahead and bring in 4K. But for me, all I need is just 1080. So basically choose HDMI 1080p 30 frames per second. This is what I need. Now for audio source, if you had a microphone connected to the little box, you can actually do that. You can choose the analog audio in, but for now I just want the audio to come through the HDMI as well. Everything else just leave the way it is. You can adjust your audio delay if there's some sort of mismatch, and once you're done, if you want to enable the dynamic bit rate, basically this just allows you to have something on your screen that's showing the bit rate just to know what's going on, but it doesn't look good for the viewers. So we'll leave it the way it is. Okay, everything else, guys, you don't have to change much here. This is where you can set up your server. You want to pick the server that's close to you. Mine is, I'm close to the US. You can also like name your Orange Pi SRT latency. Now if you have bad internet connection, you can increase the latency as you wish. Yeah, and some advanced developed stuff here that you don't need to check. Okay, so once you're done, this is something you do it once. Okay, just hit start. So right now we're getting a signal. It's being sent. Now we have, if I go to SRT relays, you can go ahead and copy. There's one link that you're gonna get here, and now we can go ahead and open OBS. So as you can see, because I did some testing before, okay, so basically this is the SRT link. I already pasted it here in OBS. So every time I go live and the camera is connected, it's gonna show automatically, but usually I'll just go in here and I'll just paste in, I'll just create a new media input, and I'll just go here and check local file, and then I'll just paste in the link, the same link. That's the link that's in here. There you go, and then boom, and as you can see, the image is there. Okay, again, wherever I am, as long as I have connection to the internet, I'll be fine. Again, this is coming from the internet or from my phone. Okay, so now if I go back to my Belabox, okay, and I go to remote, okay, you can see that it's actually telling me how much bit rate I'm getting. Okay, this is something you can adjust in real time. As you can see, I'm getting over 6,000. Now watch if I connect the Ethernet cable. All right, watch what's gonna happen. So see, now I've got two internet connection sources. Okay, and as you can see, it's actually boning them now. Okay, so as you can see, it's taking around 4,000 and 2,000 from the other. All right, so this is the Ethernet and this is the phone. Okay, as you can see, it's combining both to get a really good signal. So let's say if I wanted to change my bit rate to 10,000, something like 10,000, the max, like I think I can get 12. So let's say 10,000. Okay, So as you can see, it's probably going to try to adjust in real time to be able to accommodate. Okay, this is the maximum. It doesn't mean, yeah, as you can see now it's increasing, right? 8,000, 7,000, 8,000, right? Again, this is the max. So this is the ceiling that you actually giving to Belabox just to be able to use as a ceiling, right? And as you can see, the signal looks good. Now see what happens if I remove everything. Okay, let's say I remove my phone and I disconnect the internet connection from the Ethernet cable. All right, so as you can see in OBS, I'm gonna lose the image, which is something that may happen if you are streaming. Okay, now I'm not gonna do anything else if you're streaming in network, like in a challenging environment where network is a problem. So let's say you lose a connection and then at some point it comes back. So let's say I connect my phone back and we get the internet back. All right, now my phone is connected, no Ethernet yet. I didn't do anything else. The box is still on. Look at this. So I don't have to do anything. I don't have to play with, you know, the stuff in Belabox or anything. Automatically, as soon as you get the internet connection back, it's gonna reconnect and the image is gonna come back. Now, once you have OBS, obviously you can go ahead. We're getting audio, by the way. It's just I turning down. As you can see, we have audio as well coming in. So what you can do is just you can start live streaming. You go to YouTube, whatever streaming platform you want to stream to. Okay, as you can see, this is pretty cool, right? If I want it to be even better, I can actually connect back my Ethernet cable as well. You can also connect multiple phones, and again, it's gonna be bonding everything, which is pretty cool. Also, I can show you on screen a quick stream that I did driving just using my phone. You can see that it really looks good in full HD. Pretty watching a screen recording, it's not the same. I will probably leave a link down below if you guys want to take a look, but you can see that the signal was looking good. I was using a GoPro and I mean, I was like really impressed. Again, this is hotspot, just my phone connected, and it was amazing. So this thing worked. This thing really works. So here's are my thoughts, guys. By the way, this is a popular setup. People who are into our streaming, a lot of people use this setup. But if you are into it, don't be afraid. You don't have to do a lot of coding. By the way, let me know if you need to build yours. I can probably do another video where I'm gonna walk you through the whole thing, how to put everything together. All right, I recorded everything, the whole process. But yeah, my final thoughts about this little box. I think this is a cool box actually. For someone who's on budget and you like having fun and playing with stuff, this can actually replace 100% things like live view mobile streaming boxes that cost thousands of dollars. For under $150, you got yourself a box that actually works, has bonding, guys. Bonding is an expensive technology. A lot of companies who are selling internet connection bonding, I mean, they network bonding, they do really charge a lot of money. So this is really cool. Super excited. Kudos to the guy who created Belabox because he just gives away the code for free. It's open source. You can use it for free. And I'm excited to be using this device for sure. It just gives me an ability to turn any HDMI camera into an SRT camera, which is really cool. Simply using any internet connection available in my kind of disposal, which is really, really cool. And it's not internet connection hungry because we got H.265 encoding, which makes things really easy. It gives you really good quality image. I mean, I just love this little box. Now, some of the things that could probably improve on this box. One thing, if you guys can take a look at this. Again, you can see already like we got some cables connected to it. It doesn't look cute, but imagine when you're driving, because you need to power it, and most of the time to be able to power it, you need something like a power bank or a portable battery. Last time when I was using it, I was using actually a portable battery. And connecting the phones, connecting the cameras, and connecting the actual device to power, and connecting maybe a second phone, it actually becomes a lot of cables. Like as you can see, these are some of the cables that I use when I do the arrow streaming with it. So it's a lot of cables and they look messy. Okay, so one of the things that I would improve, or I would suggest, maybe some sort of like a product or some sort of case or a bag where, you know, that will provide some sort of cable management with some kind of holders where you can, you know, an option to add the phone, a second phone. So just to make it look clean, okay? And obviously some power banks. Obviously you need a good power bank that's not too heavy, but also that's gonna give you enough power. to power the whole thing for a long period of time, depending on how long you need it. So that's, again, this is open source kind of thing. It's free, so it's not really compact and kind of ready to go. So, you know, it's a DIY kind of thing. So yeah, maybe I'll keep working on those things, obviously, and see how I can come up with something super interesting. Another thing that I will improve maybe on the box will be having some sort of, now you can add a screen, you can add a keyboard, you can add anything you want. You can even install a different operating system that will allow you to use it as a tablet, even like a touch screen. But for the purpose of the actual project that we have here, which is like a streaming box for audio streaming or mobile streaming with SRT, you don't really need that. Okay, you just set it up once with the screen. Once you're done setting it up, it just works. You turn it on and then, you know, activate your Belabox kind of cloud account, hit the start thing, and then that's it. The box will just keep running, right? So, but like one of the issues is there's no way to monitor the feed unless you monitor it using OBS, of course, or like someone using OBS. But if you are streaming, let's say you start your stream at home and you leave, there's no one monitoring it, telling you what's going on. I wish there was a way to, like with maybe Belabox, where you can have like some, obviously there's a way, I'm just gonna need to find a way, but to be able to monitor the signal, because at some point when I was streaming, I think my phone was overheating or my cable was not good, and it would just disconnect. It would disconnect from the hotspot, and then I would have to reconnect it manually. I don't know, I think my bitrate was set too high, I don't know. On that particular stream I had issues, and I wouldn't know that the feed was still up. I mean, the good thing is when it happens, when you reconnect the internet connection, it automatically send the image, which is cool. But I wish there was like some sort of monitoring kind of thing where I can monitor the signal before it hits OBS, maybe built into Belabox, like where I can have, we have a link, we have an SRT link, but also we can have like a viewing link that can just use to monitor the signal. So I know it could be optional, but I know like if something goes wrong, I can see it before some people watching on stream, they see a blank or black screen. Okay, again, there's some other tools programming you can do in OBS for the viewers to avoid, you know, in case something happens or you have like, you know, lower internet connection, where you can actually, OBS will automatically switch to another scene, you know, something like Be Right Back or a commercial or sponsor scene kind of thing. All right, but yeah, for me kind of running it, I would love to have something that would just tell me, show me a way to just monitor the signal while I'm actually live streaming. So those are things that I would love to improve, and I'll keep working on this project. It's a super exciting project. But other than that, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Just let me know if this is something that's interesting to you, if you want me to make a whole video showing you how to build it and everything, how to put it together, and if this is something that you actually can use in your own setup, let me know down below. But other than that, there's another application called OmniStream that uses your camera with HDMI, that connects into your phone using a capture card. That's interesting. It's got bonding as well, the SRT. So if you don't want to struggle going through the trouble that I went through to build this project, and you want something kind of straightforward, it's a paid service. You can actually check out the video that I actually made showing you how to do exactly that using your phone and any HDMI camera and be able to use it. So check it out, OmniStream. I'm gonna link it right here. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.